Hi Virgo, this is your weekly reading. It is April, it is springtime, it is time for new good stuff, fresh and new and lively and everything positive. So I'm hoping this is going to be a really good reading for you. And I'm going to add a new segment, which is going to be taking your questions, and I can flip some cards to answer them and maybe add my own little 2 cents along the way. So if you're interested in that, please send me those questions. And all of my new subscribers up till April 30th will get a free personal reading from me if they would like that. So if you're interested in that, please also send me the info on how to contact you, or you contact me and we go from there. And you can have that if you'd like. So I devised a new spread for you this week, and I've had some success with it. So let's see where we get. I'm going to start with 6 cards for your current situation. And of course, there will be some carry forward from your past, obviously, and this will move into the future with whatever you're up to create your future. So it's not really as finite as, saying, okay, this is for this week and this week only. And of course, this reading is general, so, it can apply in different ways to many different people. And please let me know if you would like to in the comments, if you like the reading, if you think it applies to you, if there's anything super interesting that, is in your life that, is appearing in the reading, or if you're getting any good empowerment from some of the ideas or anything like that. So here we go. 2 of Swords, a decision. There's a decision to be made, or 2 pathways on which you can go. Sometimes when you get this card, you feel a bit blind, like you don't know all the information that you need to make the correct choice. And that can be difficult, but it certainly is still workable. You may need to whip off that blindfold and figure it out, find out, investigate, because swords are all about thoughts and the intellect, and you want good clarity there. So a lot of times you have to be the truth seeker and, find out the information and do some research. It's not always easy. Maybe that isn't the situation. Maybe you just have 2 paths on which you can go, and they're kind of equal in your mind. You don't know which path to take, but one of them is going to be the right way to go. I mean, a lot of times people try to do both, and then both of them are kind of half-assed, and that isn't necessarily the best thing. So, really think about it and figure out what you want to do. Something is going to be better for you. So it should emerge, as to what that will be. Now here we've got a lot of celestial looking stuff happening. This is Judgment. And a lot of people take, comfort in Judgment because it's got that quality to it, and that basic meaning that we're immortal, that, we will go on in some manner. We are not just physical beings. We are also spiritual beings. But Judgment can also be kind of like justice, in that when we need to receive something we deserve, Judgment will often appear. I imagine if somebody is horrible, Judgment could appear to bring down something that's not so great. So you could think of this card kind of like our idea of karma, or, what goes around comes around, that sort of thing. There are a lot of ways to interpret it. Now, the Emperor is a strong male Aries figure, and he represents authority, good authority, but very, very strong, decisive, powerful authority. So Virgo, maybe this is something in you. I'm so sorry. I have allergies, and it's not so great right now. But we'll just have to muddle through. I'm not going to keep re-recording because I cough constantly. So I do apologize for that. Anyway, here we've got Judgment, and then here we've got this great, wonderful, strong authority figure. So sometimes the way we receive judgment is through somebody. If this is your boss or your dad or something like that, maybe something that you've done will be rewarded, or maybe something that you've done will be reprimanded. Just an idea that could be, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be, these could be separate issues. Let's look a little bit deeper here. Here we've got temperance. Temperance is usually a reminder that we're doing too much of something excessive. It can be drinking too much. It can be too much pot smoking. It can be too much shopping, too much gambling, too much obsessing about anything. Sometimes it can be, your internal dialogue isn't so great. I'm not seeing that here. But whatever it is, this angel comes in to sort of purify the waters and tell us to, take that under advisement and try not to continue on that path. And then here you've got, this is a real mixed bag, this little batch of cards. So this is pretty interesting. So then we've got this card, which is all about fast moving action. Something's going to come in fast and furious. Sometimes we call this card the arrows of love. It can often mean a love relationship that, there's nothing and then it's just boom, it's there. And suddenly you've got this, love affair. And so it could mean that it's, moving. Something is taking action with great speed. It's an exciting card. It's an active card. So that is a really, really good and positive card. And then you've got the High Priestess. Female wisdom, a strong female power card. It's all about intuition. This card is so a reminder to, go within and find whatever wisdom is inside of you and to trust that and trust your intuition. When your intuition tells you to do something, you really have to listen to that voice, because in modern society, we often don't. We completely ignore it. And that is not great, because it's almost like the psychic within everybody. And it's really accurate sometimes. So we really have to pay attention to it. It could be about anything. It could be about something life and death, or it could be about, an investment, or it could be, just anything. Listen to that inner voice. It's really important. So the next three cards are going to relate to your future. Oh, this keeps coming up and it's such a lovely card. I hate that one. Oh, this is not great. This is not great. This does not mean your whole future is going to be a disaster. I'm thinking near future for this, but this card is just about personal torment, worry. Sometimes it means something bad can happen, or sometimes you could be upset about something from a long, long time ago. Somebody who died years ago, can make you sad, or you're upset because you're not getting anywhere in a situation, or, a love gone bad. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be anything that major. We sort of traumatize over everything. So I don't know what it is in your case, but this card is wonderful. And this card never, ever rings true for me. So we'll talk about it. I hate it. I almost feel like pulling it out of every deck and ripping them up, because this card is just an annoyance to me. But we won't do that. We'll try to be prim and proper here. The Empress, a beautiful card. And here we've got all this beautiful female energy. Strong, strong female energy. Very intuitive and powerful. But the Empress is very, very special. The Empress is a wonderful fertility card. So if you are trying to have children, this is a great card to have. If you're trying to start a business, it's also a great card. Or if you're trying to write a book or bring anything into the world, to give birth to anything, the Empress is your girl. I mean, she is exactly the person who will ensure to you that you have that within you to create. It's all about creation. It's being one with nature and the universe. It's, she's like Mother Nature herself. Fertility, bringing things to fruition. It's just like such a positive and fantastically powerful, good card. This card I hate. I don't want to keep saying this constantly because I know I'm annoying with it. It's somebody's making away with something that is not theirs. This thieving dude is taking these swords away from some kind of encampment. The original meaning of the card was about failed plans. He doesn't get all the swords, but he gets lots of them. Every time I get this card, I have no idea why. Nothing proves to be true that the card is indicating. So I think it's one of the more minor meanings. Sometimes people say it's gossip or, trying to be manipulative or something like that, and it can come from you or from somebody else. Um, you know, I think sometimes with me it might be being suspicious that somebody's out to get me or do something to me when they're not necessarily. That's the only thing I can pinpoint, and that was sort of grasping at straws. So see if you have something like this going on, because that is, the things I mentioned are considered meanings of the card, but I just, not only for myself, but for other people I read for, nobody seems to get this card. Or when I say get, I mean understand. They get the card all the time. We just don't understand the card. So this card is not a card that means anything necessarily tragic is going to happen. It's just a card of sorrow. And sometimes we have sorrow for a very damn good reason, and sometimes we have sorrow for things that aren't that tragic. So, sometimes it has to do with things in the past that we're not letting go of. Sometimes it has to do with, being so tormented or stressed out, that you have dreams and you're upset and you can't sleep properly and, you're just stressed to the max. But there is a component of true sadness about it. So whatever this is, see if it is something from your past. If it's not something very tangible, and don't worry about it. I mean that sincerely, because sometimes these kinds of cards are something we remember that's very sad, or, it doesn't necessarily have to mean something horrible's happening. I'm not seeing, let's pull the 3 more cards here. So this is how I've laid it out for the future. But as I was going to say, the other 3 cards, which are the 3 that are the path to get here. Now, in this case, this isn't a path to get to. This isn't a thing to get to, and neither is this. But this is. Maybe you want to have children, and this is important in your life. This woman is secure and happy. This woman is feeling good and powerful. There is everything positive about this card. So you can flip these 2 parts of the spread. This might be your end game, although this I guarantee will be part of it. So let's look. Yes, here we go. Oh yeah, this is all really great. Okay, this is all fantastic. So because this isn't anything we want to get to. This one to me is a nonsense card. It just is. And this one, I don't know what it means for you. Okay, so let's just, I'm not saying ignore these cards. They're important to look at and to be aware of, because you can't change anything if you're not aware of it, okay? So be aware of this. See what comes up for you. Hopefully this amounts to nothing, because we all have sadnesses in our hearts and in our brains, and whether we dwell on them is kind of up to us. Things only have the meaning we put on them. So let's concentrate on what we've got here. And we're going to look at this like, we're going to combine the future and the path to get there. Because these are all things that can be the future, but they can also be things to get there. And I'll show you how that would work. This woman is happy, beautiful, content, in nature, healthy, wealthy, and wise. She's got everything that you could possibly want. And she's the 9 of Pentacles. This is a wonderful card, a beautiful card. If this is your future, you cannot lose. But if you want to get there, you have to believe that you've got the capacity. And you want to believe that you've actually got it now. That you have the power, that you've got the serenity, that you've got the peace of mind, that you're going to have the security, that you even have it now. Okay? Just take whatever power that you can end up with when you have this all to yourself, and live it this minute with whatever you're dealing with now. You can do this and it will work. And the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is the beginning of something, some path you're on, some beautiful path. So this one is the way to get there, although you always want to be starting things and creating and making things happen. So this can also be your end game. When one project is done, another will start, because you're a happening Virgo and you want to create things in life. So this one is about starting something for your health or your wealth or your security. And health and wealth equate to security. So it could be you're going to start an exercise program. You're going to start to eat well. You're going to start to invest in something. You're going to buy a home, or you're going to, get a better job. Something. It's the beginning of something of that nature. And hopefully you get to do that over and over again in your life. The Chariot. The Chariot is something you want always. You have it now. It's here. It's tangible. You have the Chariot. You are the driver of your life. You have the power, and you can drive your own life to get to all the places that you want to be. But you don't want to ever lose that. You want that in your future. In your future, you want to have that same power and control, and to be able to hang on to those reins and drive yourself where you want to go. So this is a card for now and for the future. And the same with the Empress. Take on the attitudes of the Empress, the self-assured knowledge that you have the ability to bring things into this world and to start things. Starting things here, starting things here. All this, notice 2 women in a garden, 2 women who are one with nature and one with the universe. You have a decision to make, but everything is going to work out. This part of your reading is beautiful, and this part of your reading is beautiful. This one is meaningless to me. So you only have one card where there's concern. Okay? Not terrible. And usually when something is really dreadful, it is surrounded by more dreadful cards. And this is surrounded by a lot of good stuff. So, maybe you'll get robbed at the worst. If this card were to be accurate, maybe somebody would steal something. But let me know, please. I want to know how this comes out for you, Virgo. I think you're going to have a fantastic week. I think you're going to have a fantastic month and a fantastic life. So please let me know, and I hope to talk to you very, very soon.